unhooking the fuel lines from the carb. We're going to take the gas tank off, and the girl that I bought her from said they mixed their own gas, and that was kind of skeptical to me because they're supposed to be oil injected, or at least most 50cc bikes are. So draining the tank, it does not appear that this mix is correct. I don't know, it looks pretty dark to me as far as mixing two-stroke gas goes. So I don't know what they're using, but we want to get it out of there. Hey, what'd you do here? What's that?
Put it in on there.
Put it back on there. That actually looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that's for a Suzuki.
Yeah.
So this came apart pretty easy, didn't it?
Yeah.
There's only 2 bolts for the seat
Yeah.
and plastics, and 1 bolt for the gas tank, and disconnecting the gas tank fuel line. That's all it was. You want to go wash it now? No! I have to do everything by myself. Oh, you just would rather have the easy way? Yeah. Alright, well, I'm going to wash it. You want to watch or help?
Help.
Okay. So after we got the plastics off, I believe I do know now where the oil injection system is on this, and it does have something to do with that little filler neck deal in the front that I mentioned earlier, because it has an oil line going from it all the way back to a, looks like an oil pump back here that could be connected to something else via cable. So I'm gonna have to explore that. Yeah, it is blocked off. There's a little cable that's supposed to be connected to something here, and it appears that it was disconnected. So that's good to know, and always something that you're skeptical of when you buy one of these little peewees or oil injected 50 cc's, is because some people don't understand that they have an oil pump in them and they're self injected, because I mean that's not too clear on this bike. This bike's probably the worst as far as making that known than the other bikes, in my opinion. So obviously somewhere along the road they thought that this wasn't needed, they disconnected it, or they were going racing and wanted to provide their own fuel mixture. So at the end of the day, that's, you know, not a good thing in my opinion, because I like the oil injection feature. I don't want to have to mix gas, keep a separate tank, and this ensures the proper ratio is being injected in. So we're going to try to get that back in order. This cable doesn't look like it was cut, so it looks like it might feed back into the carburetor somehow. So I'm going to try to figure that out. It could very well be something to do with the throttle cable. And also the choke on this bike is missing. It's supposed to be right there. So we're going to have to get a new choke cable and lever. It looks like it was yep, this is definitely probably the culprit right here of where the cable for the oil injection should have gone. Looks like it's been removed from there and maybe broke at one time. I don't know. We'll take that apart. We'll see what's going on. So it's a like a cool dual cable thing. So it goes throttle cable, and it looks like it splits into two here. One should go to the oil injection, and one goes to the top of the carburetor. And it looks like this is the choke up here that's also missing. So I got a few pieces to try to source for this bike before we get it up and underway. And with that, I'll probably have to look on eBay for some overseas repair solutions, because they obviously don't have these parts here in the US. So that's going to add a little bit of difficulty, but also probably make it fun. So as far as the project goes, we did our discovery, figuring out what it was and what it had. This is kind of part two of the discovery, where I always tear the bike apart and clean it off real good, get the grime off, take a look under the plastics, see what's going on, learn a lot about the bike doing that, and you also learn what you need. So in our case, looks like we know what we need. It'd be nice to pick up some new shocks, because these are rusty here, and they seem kind of squeaky when I compress them, which doesn't really matter too much on a little bike, but the grand scheme of things, you want the shocks to work good. And then I think as far as the project will go, we'll probably remove the frame from the bike, get it repowder coated, try to source new plastics, new shocks, obviously new tires, because we'll get the wheels powder coated gold like they're supposed to be, new handlebars most likely. Don't know how these, I don't even know if I can do new handlebars on here, so I might be stuck with those. Maybe get those powder coated again, just try to get the whole bike clean and fresh looking and back to original running status, because the 4-year-old doesn't really need horsepower. So we'll just try to get it running in its stock form, and then this bike will be passed down to the second generation of, or third generation of rider. So in my house, after myself, my 4-year-old is over there not helping, and then the little 18-month-old guy that's inside, he'll be coming up and riding bikes too. So we'll probably just keep it in its stock form. So we'll do an OEM restoration on it as much as I can, and then go from there, and we'll have a nice little bike.